Hello, so today I want to talk about Nephi Garcia, aka Designer Daddy. He is a high fashion dress designer that is popular in the fantasy community, and I want to talk a little bit about him and the issues arise from him. But first of all, if you're wondering why I am currently Cleve from Genshin Impact, it's because it is a lot easier right now for me to do gameplay and edit over that than it is to do makeup and all sorts of things and get a camera going. So for right now, until I start feeling better, this is what you have me as. We'll be playing Genshin as I'm going over all the evidence on why Designer Daddy is potentially a scammer. For those who don't know, he is a dressmaker who specializes in fantasy-themed dress based on popular books and his own designs. I want to talk about who he is and how he came to be a pretty big name in the fantasy blog community and the issues that have come to light about him and his business. I'll talk both about my own personal experience with him as well as others. You may have also seen me on TikTok or Instagram. I have made a few videos posted about him and the issues that have come across, but today I decided to do an in-depth guide on it. So to give you some background, Christian Nephi Garcia is a 42-year-old fashion designer. He moved from the Philippines to the US at a young age and got married to Bethany Garcia, and they now have 5 kids together. He used to work in high fashion, designing dresses, and was published in multiple magazines at the time. He states that when he wanted to start a family, he quit being a fashion designer to focus on his kids. Not long after that, in 2015, he made his daughter a transformative fairy godmother dress, and they went to Disney, and it ended up going viral. Shortly after that, he began to start his own costume business underneath the name Designer Daddy. Well, he took a lot of commissions. Most of the commissions were for adults, but it was various things from cosplays to princesses, all sorts of things. He started to quickly gain a social media following after a video of one of the Transformers dresses went viral in 2016. That's actually when I started to follow him as well. And at the time, he seemed genuine, and you can tell he had a passion for all of this stuff that he created. There are multiple pages on his page of shoots and him and his wife have done, and they even made their own music video based on the 1994 Swan Princess movie wearing costumes he made. Over the years, his following increased, and by 2018, Disney even acknowledged his work by doing an interview with him and talking about his designs. As his following increased, he began going to premieres and doing all sorts of things, and by 2020, his fan base grew. He began to branch out, making a transformative Sailor Moon dress, reaching an even broader audience of people than he did before. And with the lockdown happening, books like ACOTAR took off and the fantasy space grew, and his first fantasy dresses were inspired by the characters from ACOTAR. And once an already large following skyrocketed, and he began focusing more and more on fantasy gowns rather than the Disney ones he was known for, which leads us to his platform today and where we are at. Now that I've given you a rundown, I want to talk about the issues that come from as far back as 2019 and have continued on. So let's start with the dress fiasco. In 2019, Designer Daddy had a giveaway where if you bought one of his prints, you'd enter or win a custom gown by him. Oop, ignore me dying over here. And so when the woman entered and she won a custom gown, she reached out and they messaged and began talking about her measurements and all that. However, despite that, she's never received her gown. She has repeatedly reached out to him and has since given up, and that was back in 2019. Now, I don't have anything besides her word to back this up, but she isn't the only one to have an experience like this, and I do have proof of the others. So, back in September of 2020, a woman by the name of Courtney posted on a Minnesota Cosplay Facebook group warning people about Designer Daddy. She made a whole Google Doc about the issue, which I will link below, and she says, I quote, "Back in September of 2019, I reached out to him asking Nephi to make the Cortellian dress for Mal from Descendants 2. It was agreed, and he said he could finish it by Christmas of 2019. He later changed the due date due to family things that came up, which of course took priority. And in April 2020, I added the cape to my order after being told that the dress was complete, but little did I know it wasn't. I finally got the dress on the 25th of August 2020, over 8 months later than the original date completed. And despite all of that, the dress was not good quality. There was loose stitching, torn areas overall. It was just a mess, especially when she paid $2,450 for it. She wanted to return the dress and gave examples of the quality not being good. After he pushed back on a return, it seems she made a Facebook post about it. And in turn, he talks about how hurt he was. This is something that we will see repeatedly by him. Anytime you make a public post because he refuses to handle it, he will then act like he was the victim and it should have been solved privately. However, He will then backtrack to do damage control by either giving a refund or trying to say he will fix the dress. And I wasn't aware of any of this, and on November of 2020, he was having an auction, so I decided to bid on a red dress and won. I gave him my measurement and asked how quickly he could have it ready because I was going to a ball in Scotland at the end of March and would need it before I fly out. He said he would ship it out after the holidays in January, which would have been in plenty of time, but January came and went and I hadn't heard anything from him. So I sent him multiple emails, and still after that, I ended up Facebook messaging him again, and he responded and said that he would check on it. I didn't hear anything back from him after that, so in mid-February, I was messaging him again, and finally messaged him on Instagram, and he said he was bad at checking his emails and that I should message him here. I also had to give him the measurements along with the pictures of my dress and the date of the ball, and he said he would finish it as soon as he could. Weeks went by, and I still didn't hear from him. Also, side note, I don't have any of the screenshots of the DMs anymore because he has blocked me and I can no longer find the DMs due to that, so a lot of this is me going off of memory. I just wanted to say that. So I had planned to fly out on March 17, and that was the first week of March when I messaged him again, and finally I just said, look, either you give me the dress or I do a chargeback, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to look into other matters because you promised you'd have it ready before the ball, and that is the whole reason why I bought it. He got back to me within a few hours saying he'd finished the dress. He then asked if he could redesign it, and I was just like, sure, go ahead. He sent me a picture before shipping it off on priority, and it arrived in just under a week before I was supposed to fly out. And then when I finally opened my dress, it immediately smelled like paint and glue. The dress itself wasn't even lined, and several areas have exposed stitching on it. As I tried it on, the glitter of the fabric was shedding terribly, and I immediately snapped off one of the chains just by putting it on for the first time. The gold design on the dress and bodice was glued, and some areas showed black where he skipped painting the gold onto it. The choker was hot glued to a string that was already peeling off. I ended up taking it to my best friend's house where we spent the next few hours fixing it. I have a video of things we did to fix it on my page. Mainly, we did things like sewing the appliques on, adding an actual chain to the choker, adding attachments to detach the choker, and etc. just to make it really easy for me to wear. And I've only worn it once to a ball and then did a little cosplay shoot with it in my room, and already there was parts of the fabric where the glitter was almost completely gone from it. And for the price that I paid, I could have gotten a better quality dress. Now, when you buy from him at auctions, you're expected also a one-of-a-kind dress for the most part. Sometimes you're buying a dress inspired by Disney princess, but most of the time he advertises them as a unique and one-of-a-kind. Also, side note here, me doing the puzzle, I won't be on this puzzle for the next 10 minutes of this video because I was struggling so bad. But besides the point. So apparently, one-of-a-kind dresses isn't always true. Back in 2020, there was an auction for a blush dress. This woman won the dress and sent payment, but like usual, he kept giving her excuses for why it was delayed. First, it was family issues. Next, it was he was working on it. Then it was he was busy moving out of the country, which I will also talk about that situation later in a bit. Eventually, after 4 years of going back and forth with him, she was tired of it. She had to badger him nearly every day, and he still made excuses, from saying his assistant had it in the States to saying he was now working on it. It was supposed to be a ready-to-wear dress that was auctioned off, so why do you need to work on it? Eventually, she got pictures of her fully made dress, and it was a different dress. Similar design, but nothing like the dress she originally purchased. It was just completely different, like it was based off the original picture, but not the same dress. And before she even received it in the mail, another auction by him went up with pictures of the exact dress he just sent to her using the pictures he sent to her. So her one-of-a-kind dress, not only was it different than what she actually bought, but it was auctioned a second time. After 4 years, she finally got her dress, so at least she got something, but it still wasn't what she actually purchased. He made a Facebook post stating that when he does these auctions, he prices these gowns lower and only makes around 10 to 15% of the profit. And as I just stated about him reusing a dress, I have my doubts about that. I actually calculated the cost of my dress. And because I don't know the exact material used, I went off of what I found online and what is being sold at the fabric warehouse near me. And going off the assumption that he bought everything for the specific dress, including molds, hot glue, beads, etc., completely new and rounded it all up to the nearest dollar, it was around $200 for my dress and materials. Again, this is going on my calculations, but the materials that were used was very cheap. I paid about $680 for my dress, so that leaves him with $480. And at the time he was still in the US, granted, he says he has a team working for him, so he needs to pay them, so auctions may not be as fruitful as they used to be. But considering he's auctioned the same dress more than once, I don't fully believe he's making such little profit off of these auctions. Now, I can go on and on about issues people have had with him, like this person who privately messaged me saying her dress fell apart after paying $6,000 for it, which segues into another thing I want to talk about, how he treats influencers differently than people who pay his bills. If you search up designer daddy dresses on TikTok, unboxing videos show up of dresses he made. He's openly posted celebrities and influencers wearing dresses while people are actively trying to get him to respond to their own commissions. He recently shared a cosplayer wearing a gown to the One Piece premiere, saying how he made it in one day while the woman who waited for 4 years was still waiting for her dress to be shipped out. And it seems like he actively prioritizes those of influence while ignoring the people that actually help him pay his bills. I had personally experienced this. Some of his friends purchased a dress of his auction after my own was completed, and they got theirs in a few days. He posted it on his story while I was still waiting for my dress from the previous auction months ago. That's what led me to reach out to others who also won auctions. 3 of them responded back saying they also didn't get their dress and were being ignored. When they finally got their dresses, one wasn't even the right size and the second was an entirely different design. When she confronted him about the design change, he allegedly told her, "You'd look like a cupcake, it wouldn't be flattering." Now, I don't have a screenshot of this is what she told me, so I'm not sure if he actually said these things or if she was paraphrasing. Either way, the design was entirely different, just like the previous woman's dress that took 4 years to receive, so this is something he does quite a bit. So I'm going to take a break and talk more about Nephi's personal life that he's made public. The reason why I'm doing this is because I feel like it further proves that he isn't being honest or transparent like he claims he is. Nephi and his wife Bethany used to live in Utah but moved to a small town in New York in the early 2020s. They bought an old church house and began restoring it. They even held a small ball there at one point. And this is where most of his dress pictures are taken, is in that home. He announced in late 2025 that he and his family were moving to the Philippines. He said in a post that his father left him some property and he wanted to raise his kids where he grew up. And this, of course, made it difficult for those who didn't have their dresses yet. He told people his assistant had them in the States. Then it changed to he was getting settled in and will ship it out when he was able to. Then it was a family emergency. This wasn't one person, it was several that got this response, often having excuses each time they asked about the dress. Now, this point I want to make very clear. I understand family comes first. It comes first for me as well. However, every time women wanted their dresses, something happened with his family. And either that is horrific luck, and I am very sorry, or he played it up, or it was just flat out lie. I feel like that there is truth to it, but he used it as an excuse when he probably could have just done it. To me, it comes across very manipulative, playing on emotions because you probably messed up in some way and don't want to own up to it until you have to. I say that because only after me and several others made videos and started talking about it, did he make an Instagram post acknowledging that he was years behind. And instead of taking full accountability, he made more excuses, saying how he was one man doing it all. He even claimed, because I call him out for ghosting people, that those were just lies and not accurate, when there's people who still don't have dresses because he's ignored them. And my response is, then stop auctioning dresses you don't have. If you're behind, stop taking commissions. Don't take thousands of dollars from people and promise them a timeline you can't do. Because the thing is, he can sew, he can design, he can make good dresses. He has the talent. But instead of focusing on the quality of a dress, he rushes, and what is given to us is a dress that's falling apart. Now, to the art story that is their house in New York. So, for my question is, why is a house that is listed as move-in ready and fully furnished have someone's driver license and credit card still in it? Why are there still dresses and a sewing machine left behind along with luxury goods and boxes? So, Designer Daddy made a Facebook post that someone broke into his house in New York and trashed it. Around the same time, he uploaded a video to his public family account on Instagram that a friend sent him showing the damage to the property and them saying they took so much of the stuff, and implied that the people that broke in knew Nephi. The friend took the video, showed the damage of the house, and showed how much was left behind, not just furniture. The friend went to the master bedroom and talked about the jewelry being stolen and showed off that there was shoes, clothes, and expensive jewelry boxes that were completely empty. Another side note here, this puzzle actually took me 7 minutes, not 5, and I trimmed it down a bit, but one day this game is going to have me crashing out over these puzzles. But back to the segment. So after going to the closet, she actually grabs Bethany's credit card and driver license, and the videos show the entire information clear as day. And then when she goes downstairs and it shows, boxes full of things in it, dress forms, sewing machines, dresses, and I ended up commenting and letting them know, like, hey, you can see your wife's driver license in this full-on, and they luckily took it down pretty quick. So Designer Daddy's post about the break-in was shared to the town's Facebook page, and people began starting a mess on it. One guy accused him of never paying him for mowing the lawn, to another saying it was foreclosed on. Honestly, town Facebook groups are scary places, so really, I'm taking these comments with a grain of salt. But it was enough to make Nephi respond, and he said that he trusted a close friend to watch the house while it sold, and they ended up stealing stuff in it. So there was actually a break-in, but to be fair, it is a lot easier to say someone broke in than to explain that someone was watching your house that you trusted and they stole, so I do get it. It feels embarrassing to trust someone and find out that they stole from you, so I'm not knocking on that entirely. But I feel like it further shows a pattern, because do you remember the Chase Bank being shut down? Yeah, a month before this, his bank was shut down. He said it was for no reason. A commenter on the town post brought that up and said it sounded really shady, especially since they don't just shut down a bank for no reason. Again, Nephi responded and said it wasn't shut down because it wasn't shut down for no reason. It was shut down because they were switching banks since he was now in another country. And he never clarified that in his Facebook post, like on his Designer Daddy Facebook page. He just said his bank was shut down with no notice, no reason, and made it sound like that there was an issue. Also, as I'm editing this, I realized there was 2 instances that I left out. One was this woman asking about her dress, then saying she wants a refund because she's been waiting for so long, and him saying due to the Chase Bank being shut down, he isn't able to give her a refund, and he only has like a few $100s to use for bills and stuff. Meanwhile, his wife Bethany had posted getting a full back tattoo on her Instagram. And then another is the same woman. He said he went ahead and just shipped out her dress, but she didn't get a shipping notification that her dress had actually just been sent out until 3 days later. So he has a habit of saying that he's repeatedly going to ship something out or do something and then doesn't. And there was a lot of other things that people speculate about, like whether or not he actually has a team working for him, because while he says he does, he's told others it's still just him doing things, and then he's brought up his assistant multiple times in text, but has never mentioned them publicly. His communication skills are lacking, and he is severely disorganized. And you think someone who has been in the fashion industry for over a decade would understand the importance of being organized. The orders have gotten so out of hand that he did make a Facebook post and Instagram post telling people to email him their picture of the dress they want if they haven't received anything from him yet. I feel like there is so much more I could go over, and I have so many stories, but in conclusion, if you're going to spend your money on a dress, Designer Daddy is not someone I would risk it with. There are many other accounts I've heard, but I try to keep things as factual as possible with proof and screenshots, so I didn't want to speculate as much, despite hearing numerous stories. But I'm making this video so you can have all the information and not blindly trust him with the money just because he has a platform. And truthfully, if I had heard about any of these issues beforehand, I would have canceled my order at the first sign of communication issues. But I'm making this so people who weren't aware and were wanting to buy something from him can have an informed decision, and whether or not you want to support him still is up to you. But thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week or day wherever you're watching this.